Hi, welcome to Unscripted. I'm Larry McEvoy, and I'm here today to go off the script. So I'm an emergency physician. I'm an ER doctor. I grew up in Montana. As I have gone through this phase of my life, I find myself learning a lot from what I would call biological systems. Certainly the ecosystem that I grew up on, and then the biological systems that are people, that we call patients. And I noticed that the way that the body works, the way that ecosystems work, is pretty reliable. I mean, they do all these things that supposedly we want to do. They're responsive, they're agile, they can adapt, they have resiliency to them, they're predictable, they can do things over and over again. And I looked at maybe some of the work that happens in the organizations I've been part of, and there was some of that there, but then there was other stuff maybe that didn't work as well as the human body does or as biological systems do. And I started to think about that, and I've been thinking about that for quite a while now. And I started to apply some of this thinking in organizational work, and I noticed that it works really well. So I started putting that together in organizations and asking other people to join in that conversation. What if we had really simple rules and really clear principles about what we were trying to do, why we were trying to do it, and how we're trying to do it, and how we learn? And what if we paid attention to those simple rules in everything that we did? As an example, in the trauma center where I worked, putting some of these simple rules to work resulted in a decrease in time on trauma backboards for patients from an average of over 90 minutes down to 12, 13 minutes. And you know, time on a backboard after you've been in a car wreck may not seem like the most difficult thing to do, but that team had actually wanted to reduce that time for many, many years and wasn't able to do it. And then with these simple rules that actually blended what they wanted to do and why with what the patients needed and why, and then had some simple method for how to get there. I'd just like to toss out there the idea that maybe there is wisdom in the biological or living systems around us that has something to show us about how we go to work and how we create results, how we involve everybody, and how we learn faster and adapt over time and create results that we're all seeking, but also create the chance to participate in a way that we all really enjoy. One example of one of these living systems that I'd point to would be horses. And you know, again, I grew up in Montana with horses all over the place, still have them now. And I find myself learning a lot about work from the horses. And you say, well, why is that? I mean, they don't talk, they don't understand English or any other human language that I'm aware of beyond a couple of words. And yet, horses have to work in a group, and they have to break their groups apart and start new groups all the time. If you mix them up, they'll break down their herd formations and rebuild them very quickly. Horses are individuals, but horses know that they have to work in a team. And horses have really clear, simple rules. And I actually like to go out and work with the horses because their understanding of the simple rules that work for them just to be a horse herd uncannily have a lot to teach me, and it turns out other people that I bring out there as well, about how human herds, if you will, can form intelligently, do their work intelligently, and keep sustaining their effort, their performance, and the relationships within them. So I don't know if you've ever thought of yourself as learning from a horse, but I do. I've got one horse who's really got some interesting characteristics. When people meet him, they often don't like him. They don't think he likes them. Some people say he's arrogant. Other people think he's dangerous. And he just doesn't look like something that you'd want to work with, and he doesn't look like he's interested in working with you. But on the other side of that, there's actually an animal that's very committed, he's very trusting, and he's very, very disciplined. He doesn't give up on things, he sticks with them. So I suppose in a way, he's the kind of teammate you'd want, right? You'd want to be with somebody who was committed to you and to what you were doing, that he wouldn't give up, he'd give you everything that he had. But he doesn't get there easily. So one of the things that he's taught me is that you can do all the right things and you can create all sorts of signal or influence or incentive around him, and he doesn't move until he's ready to move. And so the trick with him is, how do you get him ready to move? And like all horses, but this one's particularly good at making this point for people, he moves when he knows that he's safe and he moves when he knows he's in sync with you, and he moves when he knows he's going to a good place. And if you can set those conditions, he'll not just move because of what you say, he'll move with you, and he'll move with you with very little effort on your part. You know, you say, why does that happen? Part of it is how you say to the horse, left, right, stop, go. But another part of it, especially for him, is your belief that the work that you're doing is actually a good thing, and that you know that he can do it with you. And so when you're in a position of believing not just what he'll do, but what will happen, and you have confidence and peace about that, he follows that every time. Which leads me to wonder, again, if we have belief in what we're doing and who we're doing it with and how it will go, how much does that actually sort of preload or allow the thing we want to happen? So again, I've had the chance to look at this at work, and also in coaching children in athletic endeavors, and doing a little reading on this as well. And it appears that this idea of creating belief, like a field, like a magnetic field, actually allows us and allows teams to do their work without that friction that's caused by doubt or fear or hesitation. And it actually allows them to work better and get there faster. So the horse teaches me this, but try it. Try it where you are. And I just got to say one thing, you can't fake it. You can't say you believe when you don't. You actually have to truly believe, and that becomes clear to the people around you. It becomes clear in yourself. So little lesson from the black horse. Try that sometime and let me know how it goes. Thanks.